那么除了 Carrie Bradshaw 的这个 stoop 以外呢 ，stoop 是名词，就是那个门的外边的这些小楼梯。那么除了他的房子以外，还有很多明星哦，还有一些网红的店，还有房子也在这里。我们刚刚碰到了 Julianne Moore， 他呢也住在这里。还有 Uma Thurman、Bradley Cooper 帅哥 ，Sarah Jessica Parker， 其实他本人就当然他演的女一住在这里，可是他本人其实也住在。然后他们一出现的时候呢，其实就素脸。然后就戴着很大很大的墨镜，然后很大很大的这种 parka 大衣。如果你们想来看明星，就来美国纽约的 West Village 吧。
Tracy Emin. Come on in, let me take your coat for you.
Thank you. It is very cozy in here.
Thank you, thank you. I just got the fire going in the kitchen, so
oh, nice.
It's all happening. You need it. It's March, but
really
it's not really winter.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So should I take off my shoes?
You're okay. I have special dispensation from my husband. My husband is crazy about shoes in the house, but he's told me, special guest, I can have shoes on, so you're good.
So it's actually him, not you.
It's him, not me. He's crazy. He is like a total freak. Every time anyone walks in the house, he's like, shoes off, shoes off.
Is he Asian?
He's not Asian. He's just a total clean freak, so.
In China, like we always take off our shoes.
Yes.
It's a big Hong Kong thing, it's a big Asian thing. But in the States and in Europe, people just, kind of...
Yeah, you never know. It's such a question. Sometimes I go into people's houses and I'm like, I really need you to tell me before because my outfit is really like a whole
totally,
thing.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna wear something different if there are no shoes. These are the doors that I was very passionate about having in here so that we could kind of shut off the little entryway from the sitting room.
And so you put them in, or did they, did this exist?
Nothing existed. Everything we had to build. Every wall, yes.
Inside, you built it from scratch, so you really could build your dream house.
Exactly, and that's why it took so long. But yes, every brick in this house, every piece of pipe, everything, because that's what normally has to happen in this area too, these pipes haven't necessarily been changed for a very long time, and as you go into a construction project like this, you often realize, oh well, the plumbing needs to be updated or the wires for the internet. So,
because you said it's a 100-year house.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy how long it was. But so these doors are very important. So these are basically pocket doors, is what they're called, and so you can obviously leave them, but then you can also close them.
所以这个叫做口袋门。它可以藏起来在你的墙里边，然后就做一个很好的分居。Cool. What else? What else is a good tip for the entryway?
So another thing I really like for the entryway is this change of material. So we went from stone to wood. And again, it's all about kind of messaging to yourself, messaging to your guests. This is a separate area from that. So this is really the only other place in the house that we have another material. And I loved the idea of it being a material that kind of spoke to an entryway as opposed to a material that spoke to kind of sitting down and resting. So that was really important. And then also my biggest thing is having a closet, because it doesn't matter how neat you are, how organized you are, you're going to have coats and bags and everything when you come in, so there should be somewhere to put it that you're not just throwing it on the floor, throwing it on a chair. And so that was really important to me too, and I was glad that we had this space to put that closet in there.
And then I like this trust yourself. Why did you and your husband choose this?
So I've always loved Tracy Emin, one of the most iconic artists of all time, and I really love the message of trust yourself before you walk out the door. I'm the CEO of my own business, my husband is an entrepreneur, we work really hard, and I think it's a wonderful reminder when we walk out the door to say, trust yourself, you can do this. It's like my personal little Oprah standing here telling me what to do.
把天天的座右铭放在门口，出门之前就提醒自己， 你可以相信自己，你可以做得到的。I love it.
The thing that I really loved about the West Village is that it feels a little bit more like a neighborhood. You know, the buildings are shorter, there are houses here. You see a lot of strollers, you see families, and it's, you know, no office buildings anywhere you can see. And so because of that, there are a lot of restrictions. So for example, our house, in order to design the outside of the house, we actually had to look at a picture, I think from 1892, and then replicate that picture because over the century, it hadn't been kept up as well. And so when we were renovating it, the Greenwich Village kind of Historic Society said, you're allowed to renovate it, but only if you do these things. And of course, I was like, a picture from 1892, please. I would love to do that. That's my dream inspiration. So it was a big project, but you know, when you're doing something like that, and my husband's in real estate, and he's so talented at these kind of projects, you want to take your time, you want it to be good, you have to, you know, we want to live here for a long time.
In China, we have a great respect for Jewish people.
Yes.
Because we say that, and I think if you put it in Baidu, which is the Chinese search, it actually says that Jewish people are the most, like, the smartest people on earth. And so every time, you know, I remember I had a Jewish girlfriend who said she came to China and people started petting her.
No way.
Like, oh yeah, you're Jewish, you must be so smart. Did you make these cookies?
I didn't. Should I tell you I did? I bought them with love.
And so what are 3 tips to the open kitchen, right? Because this is an open kitchen. In China, we like closed kitchens because we have a lot of like wok fried, this and that.
Yes.
The bigger homes will have, well, the new homes will have an open kitchen and a closed kitchen.
I'm telling you, my mom is Asian. My mom does that in every house.
Really?
She has a kitchen for cooking and a kitchen for looking.
Right. I like that.
And that's also because she doesn't want the kind of smell of cooking to be in the entertaining spaces.
所以做饭呢就可以一个来做饭，一个给别人看。So what is this? Is this for cooking or for looking?
This is for both.
Both.
So this is for both, but I think there's a way to do it. You know, we certainly don't have room for a second kitchen here. This is New York after all. So I knew that we were going to have an open kitchen, but it's funny because in America, I don't know if you've seen this trend, but there's a real trend towards open shelves in kitchens.
That's right.
So basically,
so
basically you'll have open, and it's super trendy on Instagram. So you'll see open shelves with plates, cups, but it only works on Instagram. If you do it in real life, like you think about all the dust that comes down and then you take a plate and you have to, it's so much work.
Yeah.
So to me, again, just like the entryway to the house, I was trying to really think about how I live. And as organized as I am and as clean as I am, some days the inside of my fridge just doesn't look good. So I wanted things to be...
Which one's the fridge?
It's definitely not good. Not good today.
Pork in here?
There's no pork in here. It's not good today, but there's an empty Diet Coke can. It's not good today. So that was something I really wanted to do, was have kind of space, but then, you know, same thing up here. So we wanted to have space to kind of put things. That is these are my son's goldfish.
Oh, okay.
Have to hide them from him because he can find them. And then same thing here. So we wanted to have space to kind of put things back and organize them. And this, you know, this is just the hood to the oven, but we wanted it to match and have the whole thing paneled. So this is my pride and joy. This is our little pantry that actually you can kind of pull out, and you can hide all of your food in here that you need, all of your pasta and crackers and your spices and your oils. And this is because, you know, again, we're trying to maximize space, all of the baking soda, peanut butter, baking stuff, and then all of our spices and my sprinkles, my beloved sprinkles, which I like to use for all my cakes. And this was, again, to maximize space and allow us to have all the things we need to have to live, you know, the life we want to live, but a little bit more organized. And then we did the kind of same thing in here. So we have all of our tea, and then our appliances are here, and they can plug in here, so we can still use our appliances here, because you don't really want to just be staring at appliances all the time.
所以就有道理把那些不好看的东西整理起来。It took me 45 minutes, 45分钟从 Uptown 到这里来。Yeah, I mean the traffic is just getting worse and worse in New York.
Yes, it's bad. I'm a subway girl, and people always laugh at me because I go in the subway in my shoes like this.
These are Louboutins?
These are actually Charlotte Olympia.
Oh, they're Charlotte Olympia.
One of my favorite designers.
And how many inches are these?
Probably 5 or 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're okay?
I'm okay, because the truth is, who has time to sit in traffic for 45 minutes?
So you're a downtown girl.
I'm a downtown girl.
So can you tell our Chinese audience what downtown means, versus uptown? I know there's a whole battle of downtown, uptown.
Yes.
I came from the mob, so I came from like really uptown.
Well, I think the nice thing about downtown, and especially for young families, is that it's a little bit more relaxed feeling. Uptown can be a little bit more prim and proper, and when you're downtown you get such a mix. It's such a huge range of people. You have your 22-year-olds who've just graduated from college really trying to make it in the city, and then you also have families like us who have done a huge project like this and are living with a 2-year-old running after them. So I really like that mix. And then I think that for my social life right now, my husband's social life right now, all of our friends are down here, and especially when you have a baby and every time you leave the house you have to make sure there's somebody there with the baby, you really don't want to go too far. And so I love that. I love that we can pop around across the street to the Waverly Inn or to Cafe Cluny or San Ambrose. So
Cafe Cluny.
It's amazing.
And a lot of celebs live around here because West Village is a really expensive neighborhood, and it's been that way I think for like 10, 15 years.
We have a lot of celebs around here.
Who lives around you?
Sarah Jessica Parker is around here.
SJP?
Yes.
Where is she?
No, I don't know exactly which one, but it's funny because the Sex and the City house is just 1 block over. Literally like 1 block right that way.
Which is what? Where Sarah Jessica Parker?
I think it's Perry Street. Yeah, her famous stew, Perry Street.
Okay, so 那个美剧的 Sex and the City 的那个屋就在旁边 ，Sarah Jessica Parker 住在那边。
So it's pretty funny because she actually lives, the real Sarah Jessica Parker, a block away from the Sex and the City house.
So apart from SJP, who else do we have around here?
I have to think, I've seen Julianne Moore on the street before. I've seen, who else do I see? I feel like, there was a good one. Bradley Cooper I saw recently. That was really exciting.
So is he engaged to Lady Gaga or is he not? This is what we
I saw him with Arena, so I think he's still with her, but I don't know.
She's gorgeous. So do you have celeb clients for Hill Home?
We've had a few celeb clients who've been really lucky. We have some that we can't share because we often have to sign kind of an NDA it sort of depends on the client. So some clients, of course, are very private about their home. So if we're creating anything for their home, they want us to be, super, super private. But we also have some who have just posted about our product or bought it themselves and just been really excited and shared it. So like, for example, we made Gwyneth Paltrow's ring pillow for her wedding this summer in the Hamptons, which was so exciting. The Goop team is just incredible. I mean, I love the brand they've built. I'm such a huge fan of everything they've done, so that was really exciting.
So tell us more about the ring pillows.
Oh, the ring pillows.
What did they look like? She published it, right?
She published it, yeah. Actually, I don't know if they've ever published a picture, but they're these really beautiful pillows that you put your wedding ring on. So we had it embroidered with her monogram. So
what is a ring pillow? Because this is new for us.
When you walk down the aisle, somebody delivers the rings, the wedding rings, and usually it's like a child will hold, like a flower girl will hold a little pillow that has a ribbon tied with 2 rings, and then they'll present the rings for then the husband to put on the wife's finger and vice versa. So it's a really beautiful tradition. I think it might be even French or English to have that embroidered with a logo or a monogram.
And how much, if we want to have a ring pillow like that, how much would that cost?
I think it's like $150.
For a ring pillow?
Yeah.
And she had 700 of them?
No, just one.
What?
No. How much is a ring pillow? $300.
Okay, well, this is China discount.
China discount, $150.
It's actually $300.
Yes.
Well, and then what about the ones that you had to sign NDAs with? Who were they?
We can't tell you. Nice try, though. I almost got it.
At what stage do they make you sign the NDA? This is really interesting.
So, I mean, it depends on the client, but usually before we begin having a conversation about who they even are. If it's a really big celebrity, often they'll come. Sarah on my team runs our whole bespoke program, and usually they'll send Sarah an email from a kind of anonymous email address. It will be their assistant or something, and they'll say, do you have some time to speak on the phone about a project? And then often right before the phone call, she'll get kind of a document Sarah will have to sign that says non-disclosure. And then she'll get on the phone and find out who it is. And sometimes she's like, all that for this person?
And then does it go through sometimes? Sometimes does, sometimes doesn't?
Yeah, I mean, usually if they're willing to reach out to us, they want to make a project, but we totally understand. I mean, your home is your private space, and we want to make products that you love in your home. We want to make you feel secure in your home. So we totally understand. And even though we, of course, and in our hearts, we're like, we wish we could share this. We understand and we want to respect their privacy. So it's fun.
I noticed that you have no photos Because sometimes people like to load up on photos. What's your take on that?
So we have more photos upstairs, but not in the entertaining areas. I'm not a super big fan of photos everywhere. I am a little bit vain, but it feels crazy vain to just have photos of myself all over the place.
And I like the size of your rooms because, you know, rooms that are too big, it just feels like we say your chi, your energy like dissipates. And this is just the right, like it feels cozy, but it's spacious.
I think that coziness is really important to me, especially as, you know, thinking about the bed as much as I do. So I really like cozy spaces. You don't want to feel like you're in this vast space that kind of is empty. I don't think that's very good for you. I totally agree. So I love the coziness of this bedroom. I love how the windows look out into kind of the other brick houses all along the street. It's one of my favorite views, especially when it's kind of snowing in here, and in the summer we can open these windows. So I love this room. It's so relaxing to me.
And 4-poster bed.
Canopy.
Yeah. Do you
I've always
draw
liked
them when you sleep?
We don't. They actually don't draw. I always thought that it would be funny if they did, but I love the grandness. Again, I think it's the British in me. This like a grand canopy bed has always felt like the ultimate luxury to me.
I agree.
So when I had the chance to have one, I jumped at it, and it was so exciting.
And did you make this? Is part of your brand, or what?
No, so just the bedding. This was actually custom made by Mark Cunningham, the interior designer that we worked with, he's amazing at beds.
Yeah.
And then, you know, little things like he knew we love to read, so we had these little lamps that were put in here just for reading, so we can turn off these lamps and just be here. One of my top tips in here is if you can hide your wires. So my bedside table has its wires in here, so they're USB things. And that's like the best thing ever. So that I don't have to have just a bedside table full of wires. I'll plug in my phone and I'll close it, and then I won't look at it until my alarm goes off. And so I'll read my books, I'll, you know, talk to my husband, any sort of number of things, but no phone while I'm in bed.
So that's from 10 p.m. until when you
I try to do 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. But it doesn't always happen that way. It's usually probably more like 11 to 6 or something like that. But I really try and do it. The biggest joke about this room that my husband always laughs about is that we tell him this is gray, but of course it's 100% purple. And the entire design process, we were like, yeah, it's gray.
Is this purple?
This is
You're
purple.
right, because it's like shades
looks like it
of
could be gray. Yeah, this is actually de Gournay silk. So it's a wall covering, but it's 100% purple. But we were wondering how long it would take my husband to realize that he was living in a purple bedroom.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna go on a little tour of West Village. What else is around here? Village Den, I want to check out.
Village Den, and then my store, Hill House Home, is 3 blocks away. It's on
that
Baker
way.
Street. Yes, it's on Baker Street. So it's next to Magnolia Bakery, you know, the famous bakery.
Yes.
My store is next door, so it's a literal 2-minute walk from here. So I'll walk to work, and in the summer it's the best. It's like the most beautiful. These are actually all magnolias, like the trees are blooming, and then you walk over to Magnolia Bakery, and Hill House is right next door.
And I remember your storefront was one of the most Instagrammable storefronts on social media. Was it a couple years ago?
Last year, yeah. So the Architectural Digest called us the most Instagrammable store in New York, which was really nice.
and how did that come about?
So we did a huge floral display on the outside of our store, but then the inside is really decorated. So we wanted to make it look like a crazy dream apartment in there, and we wanted people to walk by and not know if they were looking at a house or if they're looking at a store. So it was definitely exciting to get that recognized.
Cool. Well, we will do a little swing by.
Great. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. You know, I think we got some really handy tips and tricks on how to make our house look like yours. So, you know, we're just gonna copy it, like down to the measurements,
no
China style. The census will probably cut that. But no, thank you. It's been a beautiful tour of your beautiful home.
Thank you so much. So lovely to meet you, and thank you for coming here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be posting a new video each week with tips and tricks that I think will help all of us lead a better life.